everybody. This is a response to some of my other videos I recently did where I had some questions posed, and I'm going to try and answer them to the best of my abilities. Please bear in mind that this is a vast subject, and each subject should be a treatise on their own. So here we go. I was asked, what about property? Firstly, is there really a need for property in a country which has so much space available to it and just a misallocation of resources? We have enough space. The only thing is that people are clustered around the cities where all the resources are, basically. Especially up here in Johannesburg, we have millions of people clustered together in such small confined spaces. It's rather interesting because many people would love to go and stay out in the country, but they have to fight in the rat race to get enough money to buy resources and goods and keep themselves sustained and living a life. The only trouble is loads of people come from the rural areas competing for whatever resources there are, driving down prices of labor and a dignified life, driving down the prices of labor as well as driving down the quality of life. This one I love. I always get asked this. In your resource-based economy, who will run the country? Well, firstly, the balance of power is out of whack. Okay, we have a government or a parliament of a couple hundred people, and bearing in mind I'll use the term loosely, a couple hundred people governing a country, and all the resources filter up to the top. And you all know how a pyramid looks. The top of the pyramid governs the bottom. The very pinnacle of the pyramid, in this case, owns all the resources, or if not 70 to 80% of the entire planet's resources. Now, how can someone actually own a planet? Or how can a few actually own a planet? And if these people were really trying to govern the planet in a respectful manner that everybody's needs are taken care of, then why do we still have extreme cases of poverty? So, in the RBE system, people govern their country through appointed elders. And I'm not saying, oh, it's just the same as another political party or system. You would have to actually qualify. You would actually have to qualify to be able to be elected as a relative person who has the needs of his country and his people in mind. Sure, there will still need to be a kind of a governing council, but only as a reference point of where people can have their problems addressed and dealt with and resolved. In no terms am I saying that it's just another way for people, for elitism and rulership. It's not like that. What I'm saying is that through a number of linked forums, an entire country can be run. And we will have to use the internet, as that is our major ally. And through the internet, we'll monitor the progress of these elders. And when I say elders, I'm not talking of just a handful. I'm talking of elders in every single community, town, suburb, province. All of these need to be linked up and working towards the ultimate upliftment of each other. Not just the few. Everyone. Everyone needs resources. And it can be provided for. All the products and goods you see in the markets, Yes, they are driven by competition and price, but at the end of the day, what if these products were provided for freely for everyone and everyone's needs, not greeds? I mean, we can trade off with other countries that are producing, let's say, essential items. Call it computers, TVs, technology. We can trade off with them. South Africa and Africa as a whole has the necessary resources to create these items. So why not trade off with these countries with and for the necessary goods and services that we need? People often say to me, yeah, but what about lazy people? People that don't want to work in your RBE system? Well, at the end of the day, you're only going to benefit if you work. It's not a case of you're now competing for the very few jobs that are available and the dwindling monetary supply. Because as more jobs are created, more loans have to be taken and more money has to be injected into the economy. So if they're not injecting money into the economy, then there's less money for these people to survive on in the economy as a whole. So what we're saying is that provide all the goods to people for free, and through their contribution to society, they will be able to obtain goods, resources, etc. for what they require. It is totally a win-win situation, as due to everything already being prepaid, you can only gain. And yes, people will still work, but I'm saying, and we are saying, that you ought to mechanize as many of these meaningless jobs as possible, so that people don't sit behind a desk performing these mindless operations, which could be done even with eyes closed. Those all become freed up and move into the sector where they can actually provide meaningful value to the economy, to their society, to their community. That is the contribution we are talking of. And you know, I've already seen a lot of jobs are already becoming mechanized. I mean, at first, the first hand drill was literally done by hand. You would have to wind a mechanism and the drill would make the hole. Many jobs over the years have been mechanized, and many people have been replaced through the mechanization of industry. At the end of the day, you want to provide people with meaningful jobs that they can feel like they are really contributing to society, instead of paying them minimum wage and they're in a sweatshop just trying to earn some money for their families. Products that are created for sale to us are only created for the sake of profit share. So they are made by taking shortcuts, using lesser quality materials to create the item, thus making it redundant. It is through this that people compete for market share. At the end of the day, items are not created for their usefulness. They are created to make money out of society. And we are tired of having to buy a new product because the one you bought didn't fulfill its needs, thus filling up landfill. With regards to the environment and manufacturing, products need to be made out of the highest quality materials in order to increase the lifespan of a product, so that it can be used as much as possible for as long as possible. Mining of resources need to be done in way so that there is least degradation to the environment. Mining is quite a destructive means, and one thing is for sure, your water supply does get contaminated. How's this for agriculture? It is most profitable to make wine than grow food. And the problem is in this wine process, if you're not using organic principles, you're sending a lot of agri-chemicals down the waterways and into the water supply. So everyone downstream from your farm is suffering from the operations you are practicing. In the RBE system, your resources need to be taken care of and monitored to precisely know exactly what you have available and what is needed. In this system, everything is provided for. At the end of the day, your most important resource is your human resource. And if you look after people, they will look after the environment, they will look after their families, they'll look after their communities. People look after everything for the greater good of all. Thank you.